Hey everyone, it's Laura and I am up on a ladder again. It seems that most of my window boxes on the house require a ladder. This one is actually much higher and a little more scary for me to be up here. I actually have the tripod on a trash can right now. So I'm gonna try and be brief with this. I was going to do a video mounting this new window box here, but it just was not in the realm of possibility. I've got the boys here, it's busy days, and I just run in and out and do what I can when I can. Also, being on the ladder, it was exceptionally awkward. There was really no way I could do it and show you guys in a way that would be cohesive and not chaos, because it was chaos getting this up here, I assure you. We had two ladders going and it was just a mess. So just to explain a little bit about this window box is by Mayne. If you search for Mayne window boxes, you'll find a bunch. I love this particular variety of window box. I have it the same style on the other side. This is 60 inches long, so it's huge. Lots of space. It is self-watering, however, I don't use that feature, and I actually do have to set this up to our drip irrigation. I've got a line of drip down below here in my hostas, so I'm just gonna run drip up from that and tap into the window box here for the watering schedule. This is far too high for me to be coming up here with a watering can, so I'm very thankful about that. Flower stuck in my hair. It comes with the mounting hardware. There's brackets under here, 4 of them. You screw into your windowsill and then they clip onto your window box and firmly, securely hold it. Now, the way the brackets are, there are 2 holes to screw and secure. This particular situation, we have a stucco house. So I'm not into drilling holes in the stucco, ruining the integrity of our house for a window box. I'm not doing it. So I just used the top screws. So there's 4 brackets, 4 screws. I purchased extra long decking screws, okay, because I really wanted to get them in there securely. So make sure the hardware that comes with it, you feel like it will be appropriate for the application that you're using. You gotta have to just gauge what your needs are and just go from there. The decking screws I just picked up off the shelf at Lowe's, and they're great, just a coarse thread, and they're very long, so they'll hold in here no problem. This is up here, it's going nowhere. One other note, when I mount this, it's a bit away from the house. So in order to compensate for that, I had some boards left over from the vegetable garden. They're cedar, which is actually great because if water and moisture does collect back there, and I anticipate it sure will, the wood is giving a barrier between the stucco and the window box. So the second hole, so the top hole of each bracket, is going into the windowsill directly in. I'm not shy when it comes to putting holes in things. People ask me how I mount our trellises and how I hang things. Really, I just go for it. I feel like no guts, no glory, to quote Linda Vodder, who I love. She says no guts, no glory, and she's absolutely right. You got to take those chances if you want to have the beautiful things and weigh what's more important to you. I feel like if I really mess this up and it looked awful, well, then that's a bummer, and I would just have to take it down and have someone repair it or repair it myself. But there's nothing done that can't be undone, which is why I'm not going into the stucco, because that's a repair I don't want to deal with. I'm on the shady side of our house right now. It gets good shade. It gets just a fraction of sun throughout the morning, and then it's in some pretty heavy shade throughout the rest of the day. I wanted to talk to you about the plants that I chose for this location. So in the back here, these guys, these are, oh my gosh, why can't I remember the name? Dolce gumdrop? They're Dolce silver gumdrop, I remembered. They're perennial down to zone 4. So I very well may leave them in this window box and just let, trim back the foliage that's dried up after winter and kind of let them flush out and do their thing, and then refill the annuals in the front next year. I probably will do that. So perennials in the back, they get these pretty spiky flowers. Kind of hard to see the foliage right now, but I'll tell you what, inside the house, and I'll show a photo of that. It's so pretty. This window is where our steps are to go upstairs. So we walk past it every day, and it just looks so pretty to see the texture and color kind of reflecting through the window there. It's a sight that we're not used to seeing, and it's always surprising to see that. So then in front of that, I went in with some begonias. These are Surefire Rose begonias. I absolutely love begonias, and this particular begonia. I had them first last year on our porch, which is heavily shaded, and they did fabulous. They bloomed all season with bright, beautiful colored blooms, and you can't ask for more than that in a shady location. So that's why I chose those. And the pinky color really goes well with the heuchera. And then another favorite, this is a Endless Flirtation Browallia bush violet. It's an annual, great for shade, beautiful white color, star-shaped flowers to just give you that pop of bright, crisp color in a shady spot, which is also fantastic. You know, in the shade, you're looking for as much color and brightness as you can bring, and this brings it tenfold. Again, I had experience with this last year. I put it in the pot on our top step. You may have seen I have a sprinter boxwood that I usually surround and skirt out with flowers around the perimeter. I had these in there, and they did fantastic until a point. They like shade, and it is shady there, but then the summertime does get, you know, intense here in zone 7A, and it just was too much. There was too much sun in that spot. So for that location, I would not recommend these. They did not do well come July. They started to really fizzle out, and these are just gonna explode. These have been here about a week now. So you can already see, you know, they're so filling in so beautifully. And then just around the bottom here, I love ivy. So I did the variegated ivy that I just picked up at Lowe's. They have like the 6-packs that you can pick up, and this has the yellow margins on it. It's so pretty. I love how the yellow and everything kind of reflects and looks so pretty together. This is one of my favorite combinations, and for shade, I just think, you know, this color combo can't be beat. And as far as the ivy goes, I'm not really worried about it, you know, putting those feelers out and clinging to the stucco. I'll keep an eye on it, but something like that takes quite a while, and I'll make sure that it doesn't start going off the rails and clinging onto the house, because you do have to watch with things like that, especially in masonry type situations like stucco, brick, concrete. You know, ivy will grow there, cling there, live there, break up your structure. So definitely be mindful of that. But I just love it. I think it looks so beautiful. It's so beautiful inside and out. This is an area of our yard that we walk past to put, truthfully, our garbage cans are over here behind the fence. So I'm out here, you know, taking out the garbage. I walk past here often, and even though it's not a space that I don't have a chair here or sitting here, you know, having a cocktail or hanging out, it is right next to my neighbors, and their driveway is right here, so I do kind of try and give them their privacy. But to walk by and see something beautiful when you're doing a chore like taking out the garbage or things like that you do frequently. When I mow the lawn, this is my lawn mowing path. This is where I take the trash cans and I empty the bags of grass. So it's a spot that could have used some cheering up. It's been kind of bleak, so I'm going to work on dressing this area up because it boosts my mood and it makes me happy doing those normal everyday tasks to see something beautiful like this. So now I'm going to talk about what I use to fertilize my annuals in particular, and touch a little bit on the vegetable garden as well. You guys know that's a new space for me. So I'm going to bring you over into the vegetable garden right now. I'm going to show you what I use to fertilize my annuals, like this window box. Okay, so before I get started showing you what fertilizer I use, this is the board that I put behind the window box. It was just extra from the kit for our raised vegetable beds, and I took 2 pieces and put it behind the window box. Then the bracket had the 2 holes, like I was saying. The top hole of the bracket went into our windowsill with those decking screws, and then I got shorter screws for the second hole and went into this board. Now the purpose of this is just to bring it away from the house, bring the moisture, the wet, and also if we didn't have this here, there's a space, and the window box would, from all the weight, would start to tilt in and it would be wonky. So it just so happens that this board, it bumped it out just enough to where everything was nice and level. So definitely keep that in mind. And I've not had any problems with any of my window boxes staining or causing any problems. You see I have one here, and then I have the hay racks against our bay window here on the patio, and I haven't had any problems. And again, I'm not planning on taking them down, so if there is anything icky or yucky going on behind them, I don't see it. It's not causing any water damage or anything like that, or any warping or problems for me. And the same setup for this window box here, I just used some pieces of wood to kind of, you know, put as a barrier between the window box and the house. Just wanted to show you that. So when I fertilize my annuals, maybe last year or the year before, I can't recall, but I picked up this pump sprayer. Now, it looks like one of those kind that you pump with a hand pump to get the air pressure in here with the sprayer. This one's battery operated. So it's the same feature, the same exact feature as the hand pump sprayer, but it's battery operated. It used to take me forever to go around and water my annuals. Using the sprayer saves me a world of time, and I can just really get in there with the wand, right at the roots, right into my containers, and give them the dose of fertilizer. So as far as water-soluble fertilizers are concerned, I don't have a go-to brand. I pick up whatever's there, put it into a jar, because you know they usually come in those bags. So I just have it in like a little mason jar here. And you know, you'll read the instructions on how much to put in. With this particular sprayer, this is a 2-gallon capacity sprayer. So this is 1 scoop per gallon. So I do 2 scoops in my sprayer here. So I'm just gonna unscrew this here and put in the fertilizer. Always make sure to release the air. I have all the air bled from this container right now. There's a little valve you pull up and it lets all the air out. So be sure to do that anytime before you unscrew a sprayer like this. You don't want to have anything flying up into your face, be it chemical, non-chemical, anything. So just be careful of that. And I'm just gonna put 2 scoops in. I also use this sprayer for my BT. So I get the budworm on my petunias, and I'll use this sprayer to spray the budworms. So this sprayer is invaluable to me. So then I'll just go ahead and fill it up. I put it on the jet so that it kind of agitates it and gets it all mixed up. The window box I just showed you, I would use this on there. So you just screw this down. Now, this is rechargeable, as I was saying. So it has a lithium ion battery, and I just pushed the power, sorry about that. Gotta hit the power button and it gets the pressure built up in there. There's a little plug, there's an AC adapter that comes with this, and it just plugs right in the side. I have used this and it's held the same charge maybe for 3 uses. So it holds for quite a long period of time. I'll link to this down below. It's by Scott's. I believe I got it on Amazon. And I hope they still have it, because like I said, I've had it a couple years, and it's one of those things where sometimes these products are here today and gone tomorrow. So I really like this sprayer, battery operated, by Scott's. And there are different settings on here. There's a fan, a cone, and a stream setting. And I put it on the stream setting. You can just get right in there and aim right at the root ball of your plant. So I'm gonna do the window box here because it needs it. I feel like a Ghostbuster when I have this on, like my proton pack. But I'll just put it on the stream. Now when I use the BT and spray for those budworms, I put it on fan, and it makes a nice fan mist, you know, that covers all of the blooms and the foliage there. But I have it on stream for this purpose, and I just go in, you know, just like that. And it really gets in there, and you're able to direct, you know, right down low to the roots. As far as how much, I can't tell you how much. I just do it until I feel like it's good enough. You just kind of have to gauge. I see that my plants do well. As you can see, everything is looking really good right here. Whatever amount of fertilizer they're getting must be enough because they look pretty happy with it. And you could hear that buzzing. That was it. That's where you would normally need to pump. It fills itself back up with the air pressure so that you don't have to do that, which is huge. Some Supertunia, this is the bubble gum that I put in between the boxwood here. And they just look so beautiful. I've never put Supertunia bubble gum in the landscape before. I've only used it in containers, and I know it gets really vigorous and is a beast. So I expect that it'll be covering a lot of this area real soon. But you can see I'm just going in here right at the root ball and just giving it a nice spritz. So this is what I do for all the annuals, and I'll go along and do my window boxes. It's just been a game changer for me as far as fertilizing. I certainly don't mind coming out in here and doing it more often when you're using something easy to use like this. Anything else, I'm going to the Espoma organic products. It's my go-to. They're in Millville, New Jersey, so it's really easy for me to get a hold of these products. They're my neighbors, they're close by. If you have any issues finding any of these products, I urge you to, one, call your local nursery. I'm sure if enough people ask, they will get more products in. I know it. So make that be something that you do. If you want to have more of these products, talk to your nursery, talk to Lowe's, talk to Home Depot, and tell them, hey, we really want this. So that's first. Second, try Amazon, try TrueValue.com. I get lots of products from those two sources. So when there's a will, there's a way, and go to espoma.com. There's a search box there. You put in your zip code and you can see what products are available and where in your area. So definitely, I've had a lot of people asking me where they can, get a hold of some of these products, and I want to be able to show you things and give you some information on where you can get them to. So to plant up everything in my garden when I start with the Biotone Starter Plus. All of my raised beds, all of my containers, all of my landscape plants start with this. It establishes and builds up a strong root system. I've actually had situations, and I should probably film it next time, where I've gone to transplant a plant maybe only a couple of weeks because I got a different container or I changed my mind and I wanted to put it somewhere else. And you can already see the roots are going for it. And I attribute that to this fertilizer. I swear by it. It's just something I always use and trust. There's other great products that I'm going to be using throughout the season here. We've got tomato tone. This you would use once a month, and it's something that you would sprinkle around the drip line of your tomatoes, scratch it in, water it in, and you're good to go. Once a month application on this. Alternately, if you didn't want to use that, you could use the tomato tone liquid. Great product, easy to use. Dose cap right here. You just pour in one dose into your watering can and water your tomatoes. If you had maybe just like a little setup with one pot of tomatoes, something like this might be much easier for you. And I have gotten this on Amazon, I should note. Espoma Organic Bloom. This is just your good general purpose. You could use this on anything. You could use this on your tomatoes. And I actually use this on our hanging baskets and porch containers, I should mention. Those are not on drip. So once a week, I grab my watering can and I water my containers on my porch and our hanging baskets with the Espoma Organic Bloom. It just works out really well for me. And then you've got Garden Tone. This is what I'm going to be using in all my vegetable beds, in all the beds that I have planted up here. I feed monthly during the growing season, usually May through August. Okay, so I started these all on the Biotone starter, and now once a month I'll go in and I will sprinkle these on top of my raised beds, scratch it into the surface, give it a water, and then my plants are good for a month. But first and foremost, start with the soil. It starts with the soil. All the nutrients and all the life given to your plants starts with what you use, be it soil, compost, how you treat your plants. Don't skimp on soil. It's so important. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. I hope you found this interesting and informative. And if you're new here, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. And as always, thank you guys so much for joining me in my garden today.